What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tea and Trauma. This is episode 2. This episode is about parental trauma. There will be a few episodes about this topic, and we're going to call this one Abandonment. Y'all see I ain't got tea today because this one's deep, okay? I didn't realize how deep it was going to be for me to share until I started trying to take notes on it, and it wasn't working out. So I decided that I would just tell the story chronologically because that's the most logical way to tell it. Now, when my parents does follow me on social media, I don't believe that that parent would listen to this podcast, but in the event that either of my parents ever listen to this podcast, I want to make it clear. My goal is not to paint you as the villain, but if you do not like the character that you play in someone's story, you shouldn't have played that character. This is my story, and I'm allowed to tell it. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys. So, as I said, we're going to do this chronologically. So let's start at the beginning. I was born in 92. My parents met sometime before then and created me. What I do know for sure, I have no idea how long they dated. I never asked these things to them because I don't have that sort of relationship with either of them. I wouldn't say that I'm no contact with either of them because if I see them, I say what's up, but I also don't have neither one of their numbers in my phone. Unfortunately, I have memorized one of their numbers because it has never been changed. So yeah. I wouldn't ever say that they were really in a monogamous relationship because I have a sister that's like 6 weeks older than me, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So my very first memory, we're going to do one parent at a time. My very first memory of my mother was in a cold room with orange chairs, and she was escorted in, and she sat across from me at this table. I was like 5 years old. She asked me how school was, and the generic bullshit that parents or adults in general ask when they haven't seen a child in a period of time. And I remember being very confused about who she was. Now, as I got older, I realized she was incarcerated. So this was before she went into a halfway house. And I understood that she was my grandmother's daughter, but I didn't understand that she was my mother. And when I realized she was my mother, the trauma that unlocked for me as a 5-year-old. Like a yo mama joke was no longer a joke to me. I'm whooping your ass. Don't say nothing about my mama because you don't even know my mama, because I barely know my mama and I just found out who my mama was. So now I gotta whoop your ass. I got in so many fights in kindergarten. They basically kicked my ass out, but I never had to repeat kindergarten because I was so fucking smart. Yeah. So back to the story. So those were like my first memories of her. And then I remember she had sent me a story and a recording of her reading the story to me. And I would go and play it in my grandma's car and just cry because I just this is my mom and I don't know her. And this is crazy to me. And when I got older, my grandmother actually gave me some letters that she had written to her and some poems she had written. And I'm like, damn, this is why I'm a poet. And let me be very clear here. Both of my parents are fucking brilliant. Honor roll, top of the class. And instead of them going to be accountants, doctors, lawyers, anything of value, they chose the streets. And that's something I'll never forgive them for. I'll never understand. I'm not going to say I don't understand, but I will never forgive them for choosing the streets over their children. I just won't. So, fast forward, didn't really see her much, didn't really know her much. I actually was introduced to my father with her when I was 8 years old. She was at my house. my grandma's house, and she was like, "Yeah, you gonna meet your dad today?" What are you talking about? We don't know my dad. What are you talking about, girl? Oh no, he about to come over. Awkward, yeah. So met him, and we like my little sister was over. We like walked to McDonald's together like a fucking family. It was very awkward, very weird. Mind you, my little sister does not share the same father as me, so why is we all holding hands, walking to go get fucking Happy Meals? I don't fucking know. Um, and it was so weird. I remember when I first seen him, and I was like, Dad? It was like mad awkward because I was aware of who he was, and the first time I seen him was in a Step Up book, Step Out. If y'all from Ohio, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's a book and they have like all the upcoming entertainment events and shit in it. And it was a picture of him in there with his DJ name. And I cut this little picture out and I used to have it. I used to carry it sometimes. It used to be in my room and I used to be like, damn, this is my dad. And yeah. So anywho, that's how I first met them. At 5 years old, at 8 years old. So let's really get into the abandonment story. So my grandmother, my mom's mom, had always had custody of me my entire life. Like I came home from the hospital with her. And I was actually put up for adoption at birth. And at the very last minute, my grandmother decided to come and get me and cancel the adoption. And my grandmother was like all I knew, you know. And my dad, like, I didn't know that man. Like, it's a story that he had came to the hospital and picked me up and looked at me. He was like, she mine, and left. So, yeah. So I was abandoned at birth, put up for adoption, taking home my grandmother. I meet them years later. I have no connection with them. And then it became this conflict for many years of me desiring and damn near begging for them to just give a fuck, just give me attention, just get to know me. Oh my god, I'm not about to fucking cry. That's whack as fuck. um, so anyways, it's crazy because like I'm a very transparent person, as y'all know. Like I share a lot of my story, and it's not that I don't care or feel like things shouldn't be private because I definitely understand why some people are so private, but I feel like a lot of people connect with different parts of my story, and it's healing for people to know that they're not alone. Like, damn, I also was abandoned as a child, or damn, I also had a fucked up baby daddy who pretend his kids don't exist, or damn, so that's why I'm so transparent, because I know that it's helpful to know you're not alone, and it's healing to know you're not alone. So I feel like some of the traumatic things that I've experienced and been through is only for the sole fact that God knows that I will serve as a vessel to help others like get through those same situations. So okay, continue on. So my mom, when I was like 10 years old, at this point, my mom had been clean for a few years. She's been clean now, I don't know, 25 plus years. So shout out to her for that for sure. Um, but she got custody of my oldest sister and my younger sister, and she wanted to get custody of me as well. And I had spent some time at her house through the summer, and I'll never forget, like, she let me be out at the park, like, just riding bikes and shit till like 11 o'clock at night. I'm 10 years old, and I'm like, yeah, she'll let me do whatever. Like, this isn't safe. This isn't, how I was raised. My grandma do not play that shit. Like, my grandma has always been like, them street lights on, bring your ass in the house. And so when she tried to get me, my grandma sat me down, was like, your sisters are with your mom. Do you want to go? And I was like, no. She don't love me. She don't keep me safe. No. My grandma didn't push the issue. That was that on that. Um, but I feel like once I told her I did not want to live with her, she just was like, oh well, like never gave a fuck again to have a relationship with me. And like that really used to hurt my feelings. And I mean, to this day, it still hurts my feelings because I feel like it's never too late to build a relationship with your child. Will it be a perfect relationship? Will it be the same relationship that y'all could have had? Absolutely not. But to just completely not try is bullshit. And she did used to like buy me gifts like on Christmas or my birthday. Like she would buy me a good gift, you know, like she bought me a GameCube one year, and another year she bought me these lavender and gray and white tins, these J's I had really wanted, but like she didn't have a connection with me, you know what I'm saying? Like she didn't call me frequently and she didn't know me. Um and I'll never forget, like I was like 12, 13 years old, and I told her, I said, she was asking me what I wanted for Christmas, and I said, I just want you to talk to me. I just want you to get to know me. Like I want to know my mom. And she was like, you do know me? I don't know. She said some bullshit, and I called her a bitch. Like, of course, I got in so much trouble for disrespecting my mom, but that's how I felt. Like, you're a bitch. Like, why do you not want to fucking know me? Like, don't, like, I'm a dope ass kid in my fucking opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm smart as fuck. Like, I don't really get in trouble. Like, what? Why do you not want to know me? Um, so, and all this really served as the catalyst of the abandonment issues because I just feel like people just don't want to be in my life and they don't want to stay in my life, and that shit has came out in some terrible ways in relationships. um it's definitely a huge reason why I allowed my younger son's father to just play in my face, and I let him stay around when he had no business being in my life because I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to be abandoned. I didn't want to abandon our kids, which he did anyway. So um So I'm like 13. I just never really have a relationship with her. 14, 15. I don't even fucking have any memories of her during that period of time. We getting close to the graduation from high school. I invited her and she didn't come. And of course that hurt my feelings because like why didn't you come? But it also like really blew me because like my older siblings hadn't graduated. Um they had both went through their own shit that had made the concept of school and the desire to finish not something that they gave a fuck about. And I'm like, damn, on your first kid to graduate, you're not gonna come? What the fuck? Um, and it's just like we just never really had a relationship. So then I go to college. Um, when I was a sophomore in college, now this little sidebar story, this really pissed me off, and shorty that I'm about to talk about, if you ever come across this podcast, it's still fuck you. Um, this girl in my class that I had a women's studies class with, I think it was beauty and behavior. She was like, "Oh, like I'm a journalist major. Like I would love to like write my story about you." 'Cause at this point, I'm a mom. I had dudes at the top of sophomore year, um, and I used to doze off in class and shit. And she was just like, yeah, I would love to like hear more about your story, da 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 da. Like you're still like you're going to a top 20 university with a baby. Like this is crazy. I would love to write about you. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like telling her parts of my story, XYZ. And then she had asked me some things that I didn't know the answer to. So I'm like, let me call my mom and like let me get this information. I call her, we on the phone, and I'm like kind of asking her about like being pregnant with me and XYZ. And she like started the call with a lie. And this is really, truly, honestly why I hate liars so much, because of my parents. Because they both fucking lied to me way too much as a child. So that's why I don't tolerate that shit. You lie to me now, like you're getting the fuck out of my life. I'm not tolerating that shit. Do not lie on me. Do not lie to me. If you want me to hate you, that's a great way to sign yourself up for that list. Um, and she like, yeah, when I found out I was pregnant with you, I just ate all the right things. I didn't smoke or drink. You didn't do what? You know I got the paperwork to show that I was in withdrawals and in a hospital for 2 weeks to remove the toxins out of my body that you had put in it, right? As were all my siblings, right? I said, all right, come on. We know the truth. Like, you ain't gotta lie. She doubled down on that shit to try to pretend to me that she was sober while carrying me. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't want to fucking talk to you because I'm not about to tolerate no motherfucking lies. That was the first time I really was like, cutting her the fuck off. I'm not about to talk to this lady no more. She's crazy as fuck because no. So now the girl ended up finishing this paper, and I'm like, I want to read it. She was like, oh, well, our teacher said the subject, whoever we wrote the paper about can't read it first, whatever. I'm like, you ain't publishing shit about me until I read it. So she like asked permission of her professor. Y'all, at the age of, at this point, I'm like 20 years old. I'm living off campus, got an apartment, I bought a brand new car, got a brilliant ass kid, and this bitch had wrote my motherfucking story. Like, she goes to sleep in class, and and she has such a hard, terrible life. And I'm like, you didn't put one fucking positive thing in this motherfucking story about me and how I overcame a motherfucking thing. And I'm absolutely not allowing you to publish this shit. I'm absolutely not in agreement or alignment. Like, bitch, did you listen to anything I said to you? You worried about me motherfucking going to sleep in class when in reality I'm passing all my motherfucking classes, getting A's in most of my classes, with a fucking baby, working full time. Bitch, is you serious? Mind you, me and Deuce's dad then broke up. Single mom? How dare you fucking write my story like that? Absolutely fucking not. So yeah, wherever she at, fuck you very much. Um, yeah, so I wouldn't allow that shit to be published. Continuing on. So at this point, um, Deuce like one, whatever. Still nothing going on with my mom too much. I will say the abandonment issues were being triggered very much so about me and Deuce's father's relationship. Whenever that man would leave, I would lose my fucking mind, breaking shit, crying, don't leave me. You, this man up here, I did not. I think he got abandonment issues, and I ain't never left him. So we hit senior year of college, and um, I wanted this class ring. That was the only gift that I requested from my parents, right? And I just wanted them to both pay for half of it every other month, $106 payment. My mom did do her part, so I felt the obligation, I would say, to invite her to graduation. She comes to graduation. We take a couple pictures right after. And then she's like, okay, I gotta go. Like, she had rode the Greyhound bus. She's like, I gotta go, like, to not miss my bus. Mind you, I had plans to go to dinner right after with my family. So I'm like, oh, like, you just booked the bus that's about to pull out 3 minutes after I fucking graduate. Like, okay. Um, and so I turned to my grandma, like, okay, you come to dinner? And my grandma, like, oh, well, I'm gonna ride with them to drop her off. I was livid because, like, my grandma is my world. I'm like, you're not even coming to dinner? So I went to dinner with Deuce and his dad, which in theory would have been cool had it not been for the fact that 3 days before that, I had been accepted into law school. I had a scholarship to go. And I asked him, I said, before I take this and accept this offer, are you going to be here? Because we had been so off and on throughout college. And I know if I went to law school, I was really going to need him. It was going to be some late nights. And he was like, no. And he started packing his shit. And he was like, after graduation, I'm gone. And that was just like the saddest fucking dinner of my life. um, and it was just once again one of the moments where she just abandoned me. Like, it wouldn't have killed you to just book a fucking later bus to just be here for the day. Um, and like I said, she took my grandmother away too in that moment. So, okay, at this point, Deuce is like 3 years old. Fast forward a little further. This one I really was like, okay, this was pretty much the end of our relationship. It was around Christmas, and she's like asking what he wants for Christmas, and I told her straight the fuck up, don't lie to my son. If you're not gonna do something, don't tell me you're gonna do it. Oh no, just tell me what he wants. And he picked out these two really dope Lego sets. They were both like, one was like $60, one was like $75. Like, yeah, got you. I'm gonna send him 150. She sent 75. So I got him one of the sets, but then she never sent the other 75. No communication, no reason why, I just didn't send it. And it just bothered me because like she's always like doing so much for my sister's kids, and like, you know, her and my sister have a different relationship because my sister want to live with her, you know. And I was just like, it's just always been like, fuck me and my kids at this point, kids at this point, but at that point, just fuck me and my kid. And you know, you can do a lot to me and get away with it, a whole lot, but I don't play about my motherfucking kids. And that's when I was just like, all right, that's it. Like, we're done. Like, we've never had a relationship since then. Um, that's it. Now, fast forward, you know, some situations occur. She has some health issues and shit, and it's just like, that's not my burden to bear. Sorry. And one time, my sister had a situation going on, and I had to fucking talk to my mom because my sister is all the way in North Carolina, and my mom's up there. So I had to call my niece, like, put my mom on the phone. I'm like, you need to go do X, Y, and Z regarding my sister right now. Period. The fuck? I had not talked to her in years, but when it comes to my sister, no, go handle that right now because I can't get up there fast enough. And then I didn't talk to her, didn't see her again for years. And then I had to see her. My niece graduated in 2024. Um, and I got there like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, started putting together my niece's balloon arch, you know, and she come down the stairs. She like, hey, cub. I'm like, what's up? And then like I got dressed, and she like, oh, you look so beautiful. And like I didn't feel like I look like shit. I'm like, I mean, I look cute, but I wasn't like all so beautiful. I'm like, okay, thanks. She just is like looking sad, and it's just so weird because it's like I really don't have a relationship with her, and I would like to, but it's too late because you pretend me and my kids don't exist. You know, like she just talk about my sister and her 3 kids. Like you don't have 3 other grandkids. Um, and then like just little shit, like the littlest things that she does, like hurts my feelings so much, and I feel like that little girl all over again. Like, um, and my sister isn't ever trying to like hurt me with this kind of shit, but like my sister had like posted a video. She's over there at our mom's house, and on the mantle is just like pictures of just my nieces and nephews, like as if my kids don't exist. Like, and she had stolen pictures off fucking social media. You could have stolen some pictures of my kids off social media too, but you pretend they don't exist. And then recently my dad had posted like he had got new cars or whatever, and I see her in the fucking comments talking about congrats baby daddy. Piss me clean the fuck off because how that's your baby daddy and you don't acknowledge the baby? So yeah, that's the story of abandonment from my mother's perspective. Now my dad, like I said, met him at 8 years old. Um, you know, it was just touch and go. One time he said he was coming to get me for pizza on my birthday when I was like 10 or 11, and he never came. I remember just sitting there in that windowsill, and he just never fucking came. And that's why it hurts me so much when my son's dads don't show up for them, because like no kid deserves that. Like no kid deserves to be sitting there fucking waiting for somebody who's not gonna show up. Um, And I feel like I made kids with a man just like my father. And that shit blows the fuck out of me. Just like, I got a sister fucking 6 weeks older than me. Like, my baby boy got a little sister fucking 8 weeks younger than him. And he didn't he didn't physically cheat on me. He definitely got the girl number while we were still together, but like the baby was made 30 days after we broke up. Because we broke up when I was 2 months pregnant. But okay, continue. Let's focus here, y'all. So my dad, then it was like a couple years where like I didn't talk to him at all, and we lived in the same city, like didn't talk to him. He wasn't calling me. Like my grandma, like I would want stuff, and she like ask your dad. I'm like, no, he never even bought me a bike. I've been asking for a bike since I met this man. He never bought me a bike. Here we are, and I'm like 11, 12 years old, and he still ain't bought me a fucking bike. No, I'm not asking for shit. And I remember one time I was walking down the street, and he drove past me. I looked at him, and he looked at me. He just turned his head and kept driving. Um, so that went on. And then when I was like 15, 16, we started having a relationship. He would come get me. He would take me around my siblings. And I was just like, okay, like I got a dad now, like I had went to stay with his family when I was 10. That summer I was 10 years old. I had went and met them. And the whole car ride, my oldest sister was like, this not your daughter. This not my little sister. I'm not claiming her. Da 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 da. Just dogging my shit. The whole ride, I was 10 years old. My other big sister would just hold me like, it's okay. It's okay. Don't listen to her. Um. So yeah, like I said, when I became a teenager, me and him started building a relationship. He would like come pick me up and take me with him while he would go and shoot dice. And I remember like, yeah, like he trying to make up for missed time, whatever. And I was sitting there one day. He was like ran into the store to get snacks or whatever. And then we out there and he's shooting dice and he like, gives me a pack of Skittles. And I was like, you don't listen to shit I say because I fucking hate Skittles. I'm an M&M's girl. And I ate them Skittles because I didn't want to upset him because he just like got a real short fuse. Like he real easy to anger. And I'm like, well, I'm just gonna eat these fucking Skittles because taste the fucking rainbow, I guess. And I definitely get my anger from him. Like I get mad so fast when I'm mad. Like, and I'm like, well, it's your dad. um. So yeah, 16, 17, we kind of having this relationship, whatever. He throws me a graduation party before I went to college, and I was just talking about this with my sister at the graduation party. He decided that was a great moment to tell me and all my siblings how none of us are supposed to be alive. Oh yeah, I was trying to get you aborted, but your mom wouldn't do this. And he pointed at me and said, "Yeah, your mom wouldn't be still long enough." I mean, what a better graduation gift than to tell me in a room full of my siblings how we shouldn't exist. I mean, duh, obviously that's the best thing you could ever gave me. Um, yeah, like so I go to college. I didn't tell him I was pregnant when I found out I was pregnant because I knew he was gonna blow up. Mind you, at this time he is paying my phone bill. He had been paying my phone bill since I was like 16 or so. He had like got me a phone and was paying my phone bill. And as soon as he found out I was pregnant, phone was off. Yeah, let that nigga who got you pregnant pay your phone bill. Got it. Understood. Understood. And fuck the fact that I got a full ride to college. Fuck the fact that I don't call you and ask you for shit. Fuck every accomplishment I had. You're not gonna pay $50 a month to make sure my phone because I got pregnant, even though I'm not dropping out, not asking you for shit. Cool. Um, so that happened. Um, Didn't really have much of a relationship with him throughout college. Um, Him and the mother of my youngest sister had got into it. She had lied on me, telling him that she had got some information from me, information I didn't know. And he called me blowing up about it. Why would you tell her XYZ, boo? And I'm like, yo. How am I gonna tell her some shit that I don't even know? You hear yourself? Whole time she had got this shit from her homegirl. Okay, cool. So, me and his relationship was pretty much to shit after that. Like I said, they were supposed to go half of my class ring. He made the payment. Um, I graduated from college. Mind you, he had drove me to college, like with my grandma and them. You know, had unloaded on my shit. Was like trying to big dog on Deuce's dad, like tossing him my stuff because you know he's there when I move in. And we were just talking about like, oh yeah, when I graduate, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. I'm gonna spray paint the truck. He like, you can do whatever you want when you graduate. Yeah, he never came to the graduation. Him and the the mother of my youngest sibling were supposed to come together, and I guess because they weren't on good terms, neither one of them came. I don't know. Oh well, they didn't show up. He did come to my high school graduation. He wasn't like down on the ground with everybody else. He actually was like up in the DJ booth with his homeboy, but he came and got that photo op. Um, and then he did take me to dinner afterwards. It was just all these restrictions about where we could go. Not that he had implemented. It was just like shit was closed but I don't know. We ended up going to Denny's. And then he gave me $100 in ones. And yeah. So college, he didn't come to graduation. I haven't really had much of a relationship with him since. Um, I did go to Cleveland one time, like right after graduation, and or right before graduation, one of the two, I can't remember. Deuce was 3 years old, and I took Deuce to go meet him, and that's the only time he's ever seen my kid. Um, yeah, I can't say much of anything about our relationship proceeding from there. At one point in time, Deuce did ask me when Callie was a baby. He said, "Do I got a granddad?" And I said, "Yeah, baby." He said, "Oh, who is he? Is he alive?" And I'm like, "Let me call him." So I tell my dad, I'm like, "Hey, you know, my son want to see you, whoopie whoop." And we get on like FaceTime. I guess it wasn't FaceTime. It was whatever the fuck you do with Android. And he gets on the phone and he's like watching the game, barely paying my kid any attention. Oh yeah, I'm cool on you. So we got off that call. That was pretty much it. I do not play by my kids. You play in their face one time, that's it. That's all the playing you gonna do. So that was pretty much when I stopped talking to him. And, you know, yeah, I haven't talked to him. Like one time my little sister was like at his house, like put him on face. I'm like, oh, hey. He like, hey, how you doing? All right. That was it. And then recently he hit me up on Facebook. It was like, no, hey, how you doing? It was just like, call me. I'm like, so what? How you doing? What's up? Call you for what? I want to see the kids. I want to call them. I want my kids to see them. But all I keep thinking about is the last time I gave the opportunity to talk to them, you ignored them. So, yeah. So this is running a little long, but I guess this is a good point, a good moment to insert the lesson of the day. And this is one that I got from my therapist, and it's you never done healing until you're dead. And I'm not done healing, but I won't allow this trauma to continue to dictate my life. I won't allow my abandonment issues to continue to make me stay in places I don't belong because I'm afraid of being alone. Um, and yeah, and I just, if you're a person who suffers from abandonment issues, I want you to know that you are enough. You don't need them people. And Oftentimes, when you feel like you're being abandoned, God's separating people that shouldn't be around you anyways. And the sooner you realize that, the better off you'll be. I'll see y'all next week.